Greetings and welcome to the Grandmaster Chess Academy. I have another exciting game of chess. Positional grinder. Mostly ground troops warfare. As the great power was exchanged off early on. As you can see, I was in the ELO somewhere in the 1600s. Playing strong chess but just falling apart in the end. So I decided to go for one more game. Grandmasters kept avoiding me with their 25 and 27 and 2900 ratings. But this lovely person from Australia decided to give it a go with a 2058 rating. Alright, so I went with my trusty E4. And we have D5, ED5, Scandinavian territory. But no, we enter more the Alekhine territory. This is a game that I've been having some fun with lately. Just eliminates the questions in the center immediately. So we're saying, oh no, pieces are coming off the board, but you know how to play or you don't. Doesn't matter which pieces you're using. Hence the ideas of Chess 960. Take away all your opening understanding, and how do you know? Do you know how to move the pieces correctly? Alright, so this is not going to be a long one. We're going to get through this quickly. Tabia, as it were, for this position. The queens aren't always exchanged off, but I just wanted to do some straight ground warfare and play position against position, see who knows more. Or who would break first. That so often happens in chess. Simple pin move. Here computer suggests taking the knight, but I wanted to have fun in the position. Like I said, who knows more about the position? Who can do more with the position? So, squirreling pawns, it's always fun, right? Not necessarily bad news for white in this position as I'm capturing towards the center. And as there are no light square bishops on the board, then there's only dark squared menace. And I've got one, and so does my opponent. So, everything should be okay. And my opponent's stepping in deep. Looking for a nice fork if I'm not paying attention. Maybe I just want to develop my knight without paying attention. And pow, lose that. Basically resign. So we stop that nonsense. Takes away my castling option, but there's no queens on the board, so who needs the castling option? E6. Knight E2. So I don't know if I told you or not, but this opening is called the Noch Gambit out of the Alekhine. N-O-C-H. The Noch Gambit out of the Alekhine. Alright, so I develop my knight. And then we have a dark squared bishop development. Punch in the face. Back up. Bishop B6, continue to eye that pawn. Ask more hard questions. Here, this is actually critical. This is those times when precision is what chess is all about. Now, the position's basically even. If the knight chooses the C6 square or the D5 square, or protects itself with the pawn and backs up by the bishop, or protects itself with the other, well, the other pawn won't really work, will it? because you just take and then it's a free piece because it's unprotected rook. So perhaps with this pawn. Takes, bishop takes. Could potentially straighten out the pawns. There are definitely some questions in there, but let me see what you get. It's pretty tight. That actually could set up a slightly better shot, but this is not what my opponent chose. Knight to c6 is very safe, very precise, according to StockFish. However, knight to d5 is losing. And you might want to pause the video right here and really study the position. But I'm going to just move on, and we're going to finish out this game. We're going to try and do this in less than 10 minutes. So c4, attacking that knight. bc4. Not so wise because now I've straightened out my pawns. Knight to f6. Good enough, but now that happens. Which leads to this, and now this pawn is hanging. Now the bishop can go back into the hole, but that's not going to help anything. Pawn pushes, attacks. It's going to lack bueno, that's for sure. Here, knight back to d5, trying to control the center. So take the pawn. King to d7. Doesn't want that bishop all the way in the hole. Disconnected harmony on the rooks, but what do you have anyway? So now it's just time to step up. Protect all the lower level issues that could arise. Right now, bishop and knight are holding and doing their job. Well, let's get the king up there too. So when the queens are off the board, the king is a piece. H to b8, king b3, shoring that up. That was a double attack. Now it's double defended. And a shore up. StockFish recommends all these moves, by the way. So my opponent was playing well. Just made that one imprecise mistake with the knight maneuver. This is obvious. This is obvious. And now things get deeper and trickier. Where are we at? 8 minutes? Let's roll through this. So the knight attacks. Step off. Stay on the diagonal of the knight. There'll be no more nonsense from the knight for quite a few moves. Knight to b5. Here, knight up and attacking this position will allow everything to crack and fall. I had time on my clock. As you can see, we had 3 minutes. I'm even up on time. But I didn't want to get down on time. And my moves seem obvious enough, but I just wanted to command just a little more space. Bishop to f4. Which can be met with pawn moves that push it back. I can continue to hold this, but it's better that I hold this pawn. So I'm answering the pawn moves immediately. And here the pressure became too much for my opponent. And you know how it goes. You steal a pawn, you add pressure. The next falls a piece, but in this case it's only exchange. So there's more work to be done. Now let's try and get rid of this knight, which of course is not wise, so let's backstep, but there's now enough pressure to force things through. Just come crashing in. Brings things to a crashing end, trying to hold on to that knight. Rook to B1. Bishop to C7. Can't take because I'd lose the rook. So let's just get rid of it altogether. Here, my opponent, not sure what was actually going on, but I guess when the pressure becomes too much, perhaps they thought they could see some kind of fork or something in the position. Not sure what they were going for, but that seems like an easy enough answer. And then such an attack is meaningless. Going all the way back here is just throwing away the rest of the game because you're still in that pin. So knight goes back up to hold. Past 10 minutes, goodness gracious. Pin, and as my timer's starting to get low and this video's getting long, I'll go quickly through as I played in the game. Where the king stepped up to get out of the pin. I just said, okay, let's trade down. I have a mathematical win on the board. And now we shall show it. You can pause the video right here and see if you can find it for yourself. The extra pawn is there. Comes close, but it's a win. And here we go. King C4, stepping up and plugging holes. Making it so that I can't just come around. That's good. And here we go. First we got to shut down the king side. Let everything be said that can possibly be said. And now we have the critical opening. Back up. Nice little punch. And now it's not continuing to throw pawns. Not that it overly matters because it comes with a check. But what's more important is controlling these pawns. Because there is a way to break through by pushing this pawn. So, getting the king over. And there goes that breakthrough. Takes. Bring the king over. And now it's over. These pawns can't be touched. And this pawn will fall. So, G3, King F3. Alright, that's 12.5 minutes. It's not a half hour. It's not even 20 minutes, but we're going to get out of here. I hope you enjoyed this game. Don't let ratings scare you. Just slap them around. This is on Chessbase, playchess.com, where you play anonymously, but they give you a rating anyway. So you can have fun without your ego being too bruised up. Anyway, study. Yes, chess, love. GM Chess Academy. Likes, subscribes, and shares are appreciated. Thank you very much.